Are you ready for the next meeting of the North Idaho College Trustees, the best and most entertaining show in town? It's coming up this Wednesday, January 18th at 6 p.m. in the Student Union building, and it stars three of my favorite people: inebriated, medicated, and emotionally unstable. Before I get to the meeting topic and those wonderful agenda items, I'd like to give you an update on Mr. Gridley's suit against NIC for their illegal actions, including illegally hiring their attorney, or their joke of an attorney, as well as the new interim president. Even though they still have another president, they now have two presidents. The most amazing thing about this suit now is that it has exposed Mr. McKinsey and Banducci and Wagner personally to be liable for their actions. Now, usually when you're an elected official, you're covered by the government. So you make a decision and someone wants to sue you for it, they can't sue you personally because you were acting in an official capacity. But if your acts are illegal, that brings into question whether the institution has to pay for your legal defense or whether you're personally liable. And in this case, Mr. Gridley is pursuing them personally for the extra money they're paying the interim president, which is a joke, so probably $500,000 these guys will be on the line, as well as whatever chaos Mr. McOmer incurs as the attorney, because he also was hired illegally. He's a crony. He basically bought the position through campaign donations to these jokers. Not to mention that he's one of their pals on the Kootenai County Republican Central Committee. Here's the agenda. What's interesting about this agenda is not really what's present, even though there is one item that I want to discuss later, but what's not present. There's nothing about accreditation on the agenda. You would think that with the looming and impending loss of accreditation that they would at least discuss it, how they're making progress, what's being addressed, an update to the board. Nothing, because they don't give a rip about accreditation. Number two, there's nothing on their audit. Their audit is complete. They need to accept it. This is incompetency, which is what we expect from these people. Finally, there's an item about putting students on the board. Now, as you remember from a preceding Kootenai rants about the road to disaccreditation, here's the model for how governance works in an educational institution. It's not the same as you'd find on a city council or in a legislature. The Board of Trustees basically operates through the president, who coordinates the other interested groups, the staff, the faculty, cabinet, and the students. They all coordinate to create policy that has to be approved by the Board of Trustees, who represent the public and the taxpayer. But in this model, what they want to do is they want to take the students and move them up to the Board of Trustees, have them sit on there, much to the chagrin of the president's cabinet, faculty, and staff. So I don't really know what's going on here. The agenda item says that it's going to be discussed. I think it should be rejected, unless, of course, Mr. McKinsey, Banducci, and Wagner desire to put one student on the board, one of their cronies, again, who's just going to parrot and echo and say what's what. There's an article in the Coeur d'Alene Press today, which will also be in the press tomorrow, where they discuss the upcoming meeting, but they also interview Damian Maxwell, who is the current head of ASNIC, the Associated Students of NIC. ASNIC President Damian Maxwell told the press that he met with Dr. South, the new phony interim president, this week to discuss a proposal. Other colleges do it, he said. I'm not opposed to it by any means, but Maxwell said he struggles to see the benefit of sitting with the board as a non-voting member, or what difference it would make, as he already sits with the Faculty Assembly, Staff Assembly, and NIC Senate during regular meetings. It seems like, if I'm going to be quite frank, political theater, Maxwell said. It means he gets it. I don't care where I sit, I just want to fix accreditation. Well, I'm sorry, Damien, but accreditation isn't on the agenda, because these three clowns, they don't give a